Like myself, I'm sure you watched this Prefontaine classic with Sha'Carri Richardson as the headliner, as we all wanted to see her performance. So I don't know what you thought, but here's my thoughts off the top of my head. Now, first of all, um, she has not competed since before the Olympics, and now it's the Olympics. Her mother unfortunately passes away, and we're waiting for her performance, and boom, she can't perform because weed was found in her system. We're all upset. She's upset. Okay. Now, are we judging her based on what she did and how she chose to cope? Yes and no. She should have been responsible, but I feel like her team should have been there to, really help her out and say, this is what you can or can't do. She's 21. We all were 21, right? When I was 21, I did things that maybe I should have thought twice about. And when you were 21, you probably were like, maybe I shouldn't have done that at all. Okay, fine. But here's the problem. Endorsements were thrown her way. She was coddled. She was petted. And I don't feel like we did enough. Hey, this is what you do when you don't do. You are an athletic entertainer. Do you know what I'm saying? The world is watching you. Everything you do, from the color nail polish that you're wearing to the sneakers that you're wearing to your hair weave, we're all watching you. So learn from this mistake and let's tighten up. You got to grow up a little bit faster. The cameras are all in your face. Okay. So now let's fast forward through that moment. So we have Nike deals, we have Beats by Dre, we have the video with Kanye West. We have everybody throwing dollars her way. It's okay, you smoke some weed, we'll all get over it. Now, was she prepared for this Fontaine Classic? I don't think so. She's getting ready for this event that took place, and she's boastfully sitting in this chair getting her hair done. Have you seen that video on her TikTok? The title, she goes, August 21st, I'm not playing nice. Now that's embarrassing. Now listen, I used to run track. I used to run track in high school, okay? And when it was a big meet and you have girls coming from other schools, you're excited, you're talking all your mess. I get it, right? But at some point, was anybody going to say, okay, Sha'Carri, listen, it's been a while since you've competed. Calm down a little bit. You can have your moment, but chill. Even Nike had a commercial. And she's like, I'm not a one-hit wonder, meet me at the finish line. All this stuff. And it's like everybody's rooting for her. This was supposed to be her weekend, her grand weekend after this whole Olympic situation. And we have the video of her walking in to.
But all eyes today on Sha'Carri Richardson, unable to compete in Tokyo, who today lines up against all three medalists from the women's 100 meters in a race drawing worldwide attention.
All that hair. I want to show the video of her sitting in the chair getting her hair done. Like that to me was the ultimate kicker. But nonetheless, like her, flaring her hair, she's in her outfit, like she's ready to smoke these girls on the track. Meanwhile, the other girls are humbly just, they're like, okay, we're ready to compete. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's not one humble moment in Sha'Carri whatsoever. She's going to smoke all of you. She's ready for it. Oh, y'all put me down because I was smoking a little weed. Y'all wouldn't let me mourn. I'm human. This is all her talk. And she shows up to the Prefontaine Classic ready to give us a performance. And we're all sitting there around the TV with our family, wherever you are, awaiting the smoke. No pun intended. Right. So we're like, okay, this is her moment. Let's go. Give it to us. And this is what she gave to us.
2 10-6s versus all these 10-7s never happened before in history.
Women's 100.
Embarrassing. Now, let me tell you something. We have all lost something, right? We've all lost in some kind of competition. So I'm not sitting here saying she should have won. We wanted her to win. But I'm talking to you as a former athlete, and I'm talking to you as just a regular human being. I'm embarrassed for her because of the smack that she talked from the letdown from the Olympics all the way up until maybe 2 minutes before the race, and she's at the fitness, she's at the beginning, and she's ready, and there's not one humble moment that we can say we saw between then and now. And she placed 9th place, and then she gives an interview that was even more disgraceful. Look, watch this. It was it was Shelly Ann's face for me. Now, Sha'Carri, you lost this race miserably, embarrassingly, and then you go on national television and give such a tasteless interview. And to me, again, she's 21, so we can say she's young, she doesn't know, but she is an athletic entertainer. She has a team around her. Who in her team allowed this? This is not okay. I was watching this with my children, and it was on NBC on the local network. So for me to think to censor my children because this entertainer is going to go on and give such a tacky interview, I was embarrassed. As your virtual auntie, because I'm old enough to probably be your mother. That was embarrassing, Sha'Carri. You don't go on and talk your ish, okay, and drop expletives the way you did, and you take your L's gracefully. Do you know what I'm saying? Is anybody with me here? You take your L's gracefully. This is your first race since before the Olympics. You haven't really. I mean, I haven't been seeing much of you out there really getting it in on the track before you came to this event. I'm seeing you in the music videos, dancing all up in the music videos. I'm seeing you all up in your TikToks, talking your ish about how you're going to win. But not only did you lose in your event, but then you go on and you're being boastful about it. There's nothing to be boastful. You go on and you say, this was my first event since losing my mother. This was the first time, being out there in a while. I gave it what I can give. I didn't win, but all the best to the ladies that did win, if you didn't even want to mention their names, because Elaine Thompson, she smoked her. Pun intended. She smoked her. And she gave a very classy interview. Let me see if we can get that up there. Elaine's interview.
Sha'Carri Richardson, I don't know if you know, she placed 9th. She came out and said something that she was ready. She got some rest and she was coming for you ladies.
I wasn't paying in mind, but no comment about that.
Okay. Congratulations again,
Thank
Elaine.
you.
And what's your next step?
She wasn't paying any mind. No comment. Sha'Carri, why did you feel the need to let the world know you're not done? She didn't even. So after that 100 meter, Sha'Carri was supposed to perform in the 200 meter, and she backed out of that. So she didn't even fulfill the rest of her athletic commitments at this Prefontaine Classic. The world, all of you watching this, I'm sure you were rooting for her. Do you know what I'm saying? It was like, damn, we all felt like the Olympics let her down. Sha'Carri let herself down. She let herself down. And there was absolutely no accountability. And because there was no accountability, this is what we get. This is what you all get. I sat back and I was patiently waiting for this young lady to show up. And I'm waiting for her to show up. I'm no longer really waiting, but really at the end of the day, as A. Marcus said, this new generation is not humble and has no scruples and no couth. None whatsoever. But I blame her village. This is her village, right? If she didn't know where to get it from, at least her team could at least wrap it around her, because you really can't buy class. And Sha'Carri, this is not how you do it. If this is what you're going to continue to do for your career, this is not how you do it. You take your L's gracefully, okay? You lost. Go to your next event, which was supposed to be the 200 meter. As a former athlete, I'm a former athlete, and I'm sitting there watching with my children, and all these headlines are coming up, and she bowed out, and now it's like, what do you teach your children? Do you know what I'm saying? For all of the other athletes that are watching her, because growing up, FloJo was my inspiration. God rest her soul. Jackie Joyner-Kersee was my inspiration. And the younger generation, they're looking at her. They're looking at the Shelly-Ann Frasers. They're looking at the Elaine Thompsons. They're looking at these other athletic entertainers as their inspiration. They're putting them up on their walls. They're tweeting and talking about them. They're looking up to them. So how are we looking up to Sha'Carri if this is what she's bringing to the table? This was disgraceful, completely disgraceful. The comments are saying Jamaica was humble and classy in their post-race interviews. Absolutely. The world is watching you. When you're in these sports, the world is watching you. This new generation is not humble. They're not. And Sha'Carri, I really think at this point, she owes everyone an apology. It's not over. I'm not done here. No, you're done. You did not compete. You didn't compete in the rest of your obligations. You were supposed to compete in the 200 meter yard dash, and you did not do that. Why not? Are you embarrassed that you might lose again? Is that what it is? Is that how we're doing things? So you lose one race and you don't carry out your obligations in the other race because you lost? Is that how this generation wants it? I'm going to keep losing, and I'm just going to wear this L, and I'm going to brag about being a loser, and then I'm not going to finish it out. Okay. There's no accountability from her. No one on her team is highlighting that and holding her accountable. Somebody should be holding her up like, look, girl, you're going to lose people in your life. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know what it's like to lose a parent, and I empathize with her there. But at the same time, if you're going to come out and you're going to continue on with life, this is how you do it. Show the younger generation that this is how you do it. Normalize being humble. We watched you lose. We watched the results of your drug test come back. All of this is being televised. And if you can't take the heat, then maybe you need to sit out for a little bit and learn what it is to be in the public eye. Clean up your act. And her team needs to be tightened, if I can say that. So Gil says she's hood, Texas hood. No one is telling her no or showing her how. Yeah. Listen, she can be from Timbuktu, Texas, New York, wherever you're from. Humble has no color. Humble has no region. Humble is from the heart. It's here. She could have been green. I don't even care what color she is. She can have the longest nails in the world and the brightest blonde hair. She is not humble. No one is teaching her how to be humble. So I'm going to sit here as your virtual auntie, Sha'Carri. I'm going to be your virtual auntie right now. I want you to think about all of the bragging that you did. I want you to think about all of the people that were rooting for you. I want you to think about the endorsements that you got when we found out about your weed situation, and all of the people that wrapped their virtual arms around you, and even their physical arms, because people approached you in real life. And I want you to think about the embarrassment that you display today. It's not cool to lose and brag about being a loser. We all have moments in life where we're up here and then we're here and then we drop all the way down here. And the only way you come back here is humility. Be humble. So every day you're eating your oatmeal or whatever you eat for breakfast, just grab a slice of humble pie, eat that, thank whomever you thank, say your prayers, be grateful for where you're at, because trust me, homie, there's other people who want to be there with you and will take the #1 spot. And finish out your races. That's what you signed up for this. Nobody forced you to be an athletic entertainer. This is your dream. So live in it and come back strong. And while you're there, praise your fellow athletes around you. There's nothing wrong with cheering on your fellow teammates, your other women that are winning, because that's called being gracious. Well, this generation learned from Floyd Mayweather and the likes that is what this generation is doing. Well, you know what? I don't condone this behavior. And like I said, as someone who, I'm a former athlete, I used to run track in high school. This is disgraceful. And call me old school, but there was no talking trash about the other people publicly. And as of a matter of fact, when our coaches heard us talking about the other athletes, we were not praised, and we faced consequences. So we had to quietly talk our mess. And once we got out there on the track, it was none of that. We shake each other's hands before and after, and you keep it moving. And that's it. And she needs to learn that. That's all I've got. Post your comments below. Let me know what you think, and let me know how you feel about all of this. I'm disappointed. I'm embarrassed, and I really hope that in the coming days and in the future, what we see from Sha'Carri is growth and a winning mindset. That's what we want. We want a winning mindset. Sha'Carri, I really do wish you the best in the future, and congratulations to all of the women that competed. Not just win or lose, all of the women that competed. You guys, you put your heart out there.